What is that? Oh, hey. How's it going? Hey, you guys. I'm coming. Hold on, I'll be there in a second. Give me a second. Hey, everyone. How's it going? So, it's been a while. How you been, T-Vi? You been holding down the fort okay? Awesome. That's great. It's so good to see you again. I've missed making content for you guys as well, and I promise there's much more to come. Although, it might not be at the same frequency as it was before. We could talk about that after the video. T-Vi, please. These people came into the video expecting a certain thing, and if they don't get it within, let's see here, 0.5 seconds, they'll click off the video. And we're already way over schedule, so we can catch up and talk whenever the video ends. Kipidon. So recently I had the pleasure of playing the Kipidon demo on Steam. Now, if you're a normal person, you might be wondering, what is a Kipidon? Surely it's some kind of dinosaur or something. Well, you would be wrong, and also don't call me Shirley. Kipidon is an indie game in the works that is trying to capture that Katamari Damacy feel, but in a unique way. The story revolves around Venus and his two chosen helpers, Bell and Chime. Their goal is to spread love across the world and everything in between. Before Valentine's Day, and in 4 days, because Venus is kind of a slacker, and he forgot. So you go around as either Bell or Chime and blast people in the face with your love. Okay, maybe I could have phrased that better. So you go around as either Bell or Chime and fill people up with love. No, that's honestly... Okay, look. There's no elegant way to say it. Venus gives you this flower called the Kipidon flower that can shoot these super anatomically correct hearts at people and make them able to have emotion again. Your goal is to start a mass shooting so that everyone can know peace and happiness. Jesus Christ. Trying to explain this game, bruh. Alright, hear me out before we even get started talking about the game. T-Vi, sound the opinion alert. Obviously, the opinion alert means that what I'm about to say is my opinion, and you don't have to agree with what I'm saying, right? Good. Okay. Let's start by talking about what we're going to tackle in the demo review. Our categories are presentation, which is how the game is portrayed both visually and auditorily. Gameplay, how do you play the game and what options do you have to complete the goal? Game feel, does interacting with everything in the gameplay section feel cohesive and fun to pull off? And level design. Do the levels feel well thought out and cohesive? And fair, you know, as a bonus. That's it. Very simple this time. The vibrant colors and the wonderful bombastic music are married so well in this game. It just carves out its own distinct vibe in such a way that feels effortless. I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of like that at-home feeling you get when you're playing something foreign, like Katamari or a mascot platformer, or like, you know, whatever. It's so alien, and yet because you grow comfortable there, it's like you almost prefer it more than conventional things. Like, I don't know, fucking like, what do you kids play these things? Y'all still playing Call of Duty out there? I don't know, whatever. It's time to address something that may be a turnoff to some people. The character designs and the overall design of the NPCs are very akin to Roblox, kind of look even like Lego-esque. If you can look past that and get involved in the gameplay and the story, there's a fun game waiting for you though. Now, just because I have plenty of praise for the presentation, doesn't mean that I think it's flawless. I think that the Banjo-Kazooie talk is kind of like incessant. Like, it's so obtrusive that it covers up other aspects of the presentation I like the music. If it was mixed a bit quieter, or like there was variation or something, I don't know. I feel like it wouldn't be as bad. As it is now, though, it very much reminds me of Chibi Robo's voice acting, quote unquote, which is to say, annoying. Thankfully, there's not as much story-based progression and exposition as Chibi Robo, but my experience has shown that there can be quite a time spent in the cutscenes, which means you're going to be listening to a lot of like, bro. Now, I want to clarify again that it's not bad, I just think it's too loud and abrasive, that's all. Other than that, this game pulls off its presentation flawlessly. On to gameplay. Alright, it's time to get into what is the goal and what can you do to complete it. In case you couldn't tell from the footage in front of you, the name of the game is to shoot people with this Kipidon flower and return emotion to the planet. You do that by pressing the left click button. You can traverse levels by moving with the WASD keys for direction, as well as looking around with your mouse. You can perform a jump for those out of reach places, and depending on the character, you can also perform a double jump or a long jump. The long jump is very good for getting extra speed to get to your location faster, but other than that, I didn't really see any practical use for it in the demo just yet. However, the double jump is an absolutely necessary platforming tool that is called upon plenty throughout the game. One more thing to keep in mind is that you cannot aim up and down in this game. You can look up and down, but you can't aim up and down. This means you'll have to be at the proper elevation to be able to blast love on people's faces, you know what I'm saying? I actually enjoy this aspect because it makes it more of a unique platforming experience rather than a first-person shooter kind of experience. As more levels are introduced into the game, I would love to see more vertical level design to complement this decision. It's time to circle back to the main mechanic of the game though, shooting. The shooting rapidly is not punished at all. If possible, you want to be shooting at something while keeping on the move to your next destination so you can be more efficient. If you choose the rapid fire option in the options menu, you are penalized in two ways. The first way is that you can never shoot as fast as somebody who has rapid fire turned off. The second penalty is, after a certain number of shots, you will need to reload, so keep this in mind on your route. The game has a ranking system now, which is a great addition that adds replay value. Often, I find myself in these kinds of games trying to get the highest rank available as a challenge for myself. I think the level of difficulty in getting these ranks feels pretty fair as far as I played. Some games, like Sonic Generations, will give you a C rank just for simply existing. I could sit there for like 5 minutes straight not doing anything before I started the level and still get above a C, maybe even a B. It's absurd. The ranking system does not share that feeling in this game. You do have to put a fair amount of planning and effort to make a decent rank happen, especially the last level in the demo. As far as I'm concerned, it's not absurdly difficult to get a high rank, like in Pizza Tower or something like that. It allows for more mistakes to be made, but not many. So, fun fact, when I wrote this, I did not know that there was a rank higher than the rank that I had. Knowing that, this game, you're going to have to do some work, okay? Just keep that in mind. Anyways, back to the video. One last thing to mention about the gameplay is there's a pre-planning phase where you can observe the level, or at least whatever amount of the level is available to you at the start, so you can plot your route and set up a plan of attack for the best possible rank. Be sure to use this time to set yourself up for the best outcome. That's pretty much all you need to know about the gameplay, so let's move on to how it feels. I don't know if you could tell or not, but I was resisting the urge to spill over into this section in the previous section because they go so hand in hand and it was hard to stop myself. But now I don't have to hold back anymore. Okay. Now, we're going to take a look at if all of the things we went over in the gameplay section worked as intended, and more importantly, if they worked together. First things first, this is a third-person shooter platformer, so let's get into the shooting. The Kipidon flower works pretty well, actually. I feel like shooting people with the hearts is fun, and the sound effects it makes when you're filling up the heart meter is really satisfying. I would like the bullets to travel a bit faster, but that's a personal preference and, like, you know, whatever. There's a bit of a bug, I think, that has to do with the rapid fire option. When standing still while rapid firing, you could shoot faster than if you're not moving. And with the rapid fire option turned off and you're standing still, you simply cannot fire fast at all. It kind of feels like it's waiting for the animation to be complete before you can shoot again. One more nitpick about the rapid fire option. So the first penalty, I get it. You are not going to be able to shoot as fast as somebody who has it turned off. That's cool, whatever. That's a price I'm willing to pay. However, having to reload is an additional penalty that, in my opinion, does not need to be there. I'm not sure if the play testers were convinced it was a broken mechanic or what, but there's no way that this is better than this. Some things to consider for the future fun of the game here. Maybe having a new flower with new modes would spice up the gameplay as you progress forward through the game. For instance, like say there's a flower that could charge shots, and at max it could pass through multiple people for a big Mega Man blast of love at the cost of being a rather slow weapon. In some levels it would be worthless, but others, like the festival level, it could come in real handy for all of those people walking around and blocking each other. I'm not saying it's a must happen for the game to be fun, I'm just saying a little something could spice it up a little bit. Alright, let's move on. Alright, moving on to platforming, the second part of the concept. At its best, it's fun to traverse areas, and at its worst, it's kind of frustrating to control at times. There are times when I'm jumping from rooftop to rooftop and then off someone's head and all kinds of crazy stuff. Ride on me, yeah. But there's also this platformer elitist asshole in me that's like nagging, saying, why immediately after letting go of the jump button do I get a downward force? This is not how gravity works. I say good day, sir. This is not fun at all. There's also no coyote time at all, so you better be damn sure that you're pressing the jump button before you leave the platform or you ain't going nowhere. And I'm talking like the literal nanosecond you're not touching the ground, you cannot press jump. Now, this kind of sucks for a couple reasons. First, human timing is not great. Second, the game doesn't present itself as serious enough to demand that level of concentration and perfection. Coyote time doesn't have to be extreme. Like, you know, I don't have to be able to jump a full second after I've left the platform, but a tiny bit of insurance would go a long way. Next, double jumping is awesome. And we have been over this. However, why can't I double jump after walking off a platform? If the concept of a double jump is to be able to jump one more time while you're in the air, then it feels like a bit of an oversight to not be able to jump after walking off a platform. And for billz long jump, I don't really have any issue with it, except that it doesn't have any situations yet where it would be more useful than Chime's double jump. It does make you go a bit faster, but if that's the intention, why not just have a run button that you can also use while being able to jump? Overall, I think the platforming in its current state is not bad. There are some things that could make it feel much better, but at the end of the day, you can complete what the game is asking you to do regardless of how it feels. Alright, in this section, we're going to go level by level and talk about how the levels in the demo provide a new experience and challenge, and how well it was pulled off.
Tutorial Planet.
Tutorial Planet feels like a tutorial level. Mission accomplished! No, but seriously. This level introduces us to the main mechanics of the game, very well in my opinion. It also introduces the pre-planning phase. At the start of every level, Venus will have some snarky shit to say about whatever during the time that he's talking to you, and you can move around and jump to your heart's content. Wherever you're allowed to go at the start, you can go there and choose your starting point. However, I'm only going to say this once. Get your ass out of my face. I like seeing the stuff Venus has to say, but either A, put his words and face at the bottom of the screen, or B, make a ready button so that when he's done talking, you can just press the button and then you get to move on, right? So you can see what the fuck is in front of you. This way I can plan my route and stuff without having to give him the old bombastic side-eye. Criminal offensive side-eye. Just to see the level, bro. This level asks you to go around and shoot some roaches and shoot some bees. Nothing too crazy to write home about here.
City school zone.
This is when the game starts demanding some planning out of you. The school has 2 sections, one inside, one outside. Here you're going to be taught something that wasn't quite explained in the tutorial section. I mean, maybe it was if you were paying attention, but you know, there's a lot to go through. But whatever. There are some NPCs that can be affected at the start and some that cannot. As you bring emotion back to more and more NPCs, it unlocks more NPCs that can be affected. So if you were plotting your route, pay close attention to who can be affected right at the start. Overall, this level isn't too hard, but there's some hidden NPCs that you'll need to keep an eye out for to complete it. To be fair, you don't have to get everyone. When time runs out and you have enough points, you can move on to the next level, which is nice. And that threshold of how many points you need to pass is pretty easy to attain. You will only be sweating if you're trying to get the best time or something like that.
Annual fun fair.
The annual fun fair is really pushing the game to its limits. I honestly start dropping some frames here. There's a lot going on and there are a lot of NPCs to shoot. It's very colorful and vibrant with the sunset vibe as well. To be able to beat this level with a high rank, keep that in mind that you're going from one end to the other multiple times, so plan ahead for that. Lots of NPCs are locked out at the start, but interacting with the booths will give you a boost in points, so you can start unlocking more NPCs faster. I kind of have an issue with notifications, so if I see them, I kind of need to get rid of them to be focused on anything else. So my plan is to start at one end of the booths and make my way around in a big circle without shooting anything, and finish the booths first. That part is important because it is unbelievably easy to miss somebody in this stage. I probably played this stage 10 times before I finally completed it with an S rank, and I'm telling you, it is sheer luck that I found someone and I missed. I wanted to bring this up earlier, but I decided to make it a part of this section because it wasn't really a problem anywhere else. I think it would go a long way to make the NPCs who haven't been fulfilled yet a little more grayed out so you can spot them easier. Especially these lovely individuals who block the heart meter with their big heads. Why isn't it higher up? I don't know. It's weird. They're hiding something, maybe. Other than that, I think this level is honestly one of the best ones. It really demonstrates a focus on proper planning and using all of your different height levels as well. Very solid.
Cloudland Plaza.
Okay, the game is officially done fucking around, and you should be too. This level is by far the most demanding of the 3. Tutorial Planet doesn't count. There are 2 parts to this level, and I'm going to get this out of the way right at the start. These 2 sections should be graded separately so that I can tell which part needs to be improved. If you miss a single person in the first section, you'll never unlock the King and Queen Cloud in the last section. Meaning you sit there looking around as the game gaslights you into thinking you've missed someone in the cloud area. It's very confusing to say the least. That being said, I really like this level. The first area is doing a lot of vertical gameplay, which I think is where the game's potential is most potent, because it is, after all, a platformer first and foremost. You will have to jump on buildings to shoot some bees, as well as visit the shanty houses that are kind of like a maze, as well as bring back love to the spirit girl. Lots of cool stuff in this level. There's just enough time to get everyone, but about halfway you can power up the air balloon and go to the cloud portion of this level. I gotta be real with you, I don't dislike the cloud level, I just think that it has a couple of hang-ups. The idea is that you're in the sky in a hot air balloon with a cannon and you have to shoot everything that's in front of you as usual. However, it's mostly vertical now, which means you're going to be doing a lot of going up and going down to navigate the area. There is horizontal movement as well, so you have a fully working flying machine, and that's cool. What is not cool is shooting stuff while piloting the balloon. As mentioned before, you can't aim, so you need to use your vertical movement with space up and shift down to level yourself out with the target. And it's not exactly easy, not to mention the various things that can block your shots, like the clouds themselves and other NPCs that have either full love or can't be shot yet. The aiming reticle is a little off, I think. I'm not sure, but it feels like the top of the diamond is where the hearts go rather than the center of the reticle. Maybe I'm crazy, let me know. Finally, there is the aiming issue. Not being able to look up and down kind of sucks, because I may not necessarily want to go down, but I need to check and see if I miss someone below me. So now I have no choice but to go down there and be level with it to even see it. Beyond all of this, I really appreciate this level because it creates a level of variety in the gameplay that was just starting to be necessary. It really makes the game feel like it has a lot to offer more than just the one thing. And with that, that's all the levels in the demo. So what do we think? At the end of the day, there are a lot of charming things about this game. The music is phenomenal, the art is unique, the vibes are on point. There are also some things that could go a long way to making this game more fun, and we've talked plenty about that. I just want to say again, after all of this, it sounds like I'm hating on the game, bro. Like just relentlessly beating it and shit. But I just want to give JC some valid criticism that isn't just people saying good game, bad game. You know what I mean? JC, if you're watching this, I love you. You know I don't mean any harm. But most importantly, you should be proud of how far you've come with this game. There's a functioning demo. There's a fun gameplay loop here. There are Steam achievements. There's a Steam page. It looks good and everything is working as intended for the most part. These things are more than most people will ever be able to say, and we're all proud of you for it. Keep it up, and I very much look forward to playing the full game when it comes out. Thank you for watching, everyone. I did have a couple of things I wanted to say at the end unrelated to the content itself, so hear me out. First, I realized that I needed to not be tied to a specific release dates for me to make content that feels authentic, so I'm going to start trying to pump a lot of quality into what I'm doing to make up for that. Second, I'm going to try to stream more often, just variety of stuff. If that sounds interesting to you, hit me up on Discord or Twitter, and then you'll know when I'm going live. That's pretty much it. Have a good one, guys. Later.